I had no plan to come up here at all. Mark invited us and said it was so much fun, and all these other people were going to get up and tell stories. It's not funny, but this is a very true story. I moved to Asheville about 2 years ago. I lived in Tampa, Florida. And I had met a man at the time that I ended up getting engaged to. But I had lived in this one little community outside of Tampa, Florida for probably 9 years. In this one little community, I always had my little local library. And I always went to the library all the time. I'm a teacher also. I see there's teachers here. I'm on hiatus though because I was totally stressed out. So I took a break. But this is a true story. So I always went to this little local library that I loved. And usually in the summers when I wasn't teaching, I'd get stacks of books and probably like read 5 pages out of each book and put it aside, whatever. But I always was interested in books about dreams. And I'm going to encourage everybody here to write down your dreams, keep a dream journal. It's amazing to do that, and you remember more and more dreams. So I would start off by writing down 2 sentences of a dream, and then after several years, I could remember pages and pages, and I'd write them down. And I also believe in paying attention to coincidences. I think that's really important. So if you're having coincidences in your life, I believe that's the universe's message to pay attention to what's going on. So this is not necessarily intuition, but it mixes the dreams with coincidence. And so what happened was the man that I met, he had moved here from New York, moved in with me, and I took him to my library. He had just moved in with his son and my kids, and he and I went to the library with our 2 sons. And it was his first trip to my local library, and he picked up a book. It was literally the first book that he picked up off of a shelf, and he started leafing through it. It was about dreams. And there was a piece of paper in the book, and he opened it up, and he read this little dream and a date. And the date was a year earlier, like the previous year. He showed it to me. He's like, look, I found this dream that somebody wrote and left in this book. And sure enough, it was my dream. I had written it about a year earlier, and I had forgotten, obviously, that I had stuck it in the book and returned it to the library. Nobody had checked out the book. It didn't seem like, or if they did, they didn't take that little dream out. And I thought it was interesting because it was such a weird coincidence that he would actually pick up the book that I had put a dream in a year earlier, and it was his first trip to my little library. Ironically, looking back now, since we broke up last November or September in a really bad way, I kind of have a little justice because the dream was about an ex-boyfriend that he ended up being really jealous about, and he was kind of a jerk later, so I'm not trying to be mean. But I just think that is kind of funny that he ended up so jealous about this guy, and that's who the dream was about. But anyway, all of it's true, and that really happened, and that's my story. That's awesome.